Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa. The name of this channel is called Gnostic Knowledge, and what I am doing on this channel is simply reading from a book, and the name of that book is called Letters and Numbers. This book is written by Zachry Hubbard, and you can obtain a copy of this book by visiting Zachry Hubbard's YouTube channels, Gematria Effect News or Gematria Effect Sports, and in the description of each of the videos that he produces, he leaves a link for you to purchase the book. The book is $5, the best $5 you will ever spend on anything in your life. The information contained in this book, I'll say it forever, it is phenomenal, it is eye-opening, and it's nothing for you to believe in. This is stuff that you can prove every day on your own once you read and understand what gematria is, and that's what his book is about. Gematria is the encoding of numbers within our letters and words. So every word we speak has a numerical value, and the more you understand how gematria works, you will begin to see everything, and I mean everything. You don't have to guess anymore when it comes to what man is doing to other human beings, and each human being on this planet needs to know what gematria is, and me reading this book is my way of helping to spread this information, and I hope that you, by listening to me read the book, it will prompt you to go and purchase this book for yourself. Okay? And the book will come to you as a PDF file via email, and once you pay for the book and once you receive the email, make sure you save the file to your hard drive of your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your computer, whichever device you're going to use to access the book later. Save the book. Zachry Hubbard left the copyright off this book so that you can take it to your local bindery and have it bound into a book for your own personal library. Or you can upload it to lulu.com and they will bind it into a book for you and mail it back to you. And it is imperative that you learn this information and to see, how we've been lied to on a grand, massive scale, every human on this earth. And the fact of the matter is, there are minions from each race working for the powers that shouldn't be to keep things the way they are. And like I said, once you start reading this information, you will understand. Okay. Zachry Hubbard also has a second book, and this one is in paperback, and it is called Number Games. Okay. 9/11 to coronavirus. Absolutely. And this book is a continuation of his first book, and it is about gematria as well. You can get this book now. It is available on Amazon, and you can pre-order the book, and it has been placed on the bestseller list for pre-orders. And like I said, and as well as it should be, the information in this book is phenomenal. So I hope it keeps selling. I hope every person on this earth gets a copy, or someone reads it to someone who can't speak English, or how would you say, make sure that it's available in all languages. This information is phenomenal. And if you don't want to order the book from Amazon, you can visit Zachry Hubbard's blog page, and that is called gematriaeffectnews.blogspot.com. The first thing you'll see on that blog page is the advertising for the book Number Games, and you scroll down and it will give you the information on how to purchase the book within the United States and abroad. And what I've been failing to mention also, if you want Zachry Hubbard to sign your book, once you follow the instructions on how to purchase the book, when you send him your email, you alert him to what you would like for him to write in your book. And the information is phenomenal, so make sure you do that. Make sure you read the blogs on his blog page. Gematria Effect News.blogspot.com. There's a lot of information there that is pertaining strictly to Gematria. He has a previous blog page also called freetofindtruth.blogspot.com, and he'd been blogging there for over 5 years. So there's a massive amount of content there that you can read to familiarize yourself with what Gematria is, how it works, and you'll be amazed at the information. But be sure to get these books for yourself so you can read it and get it inside you, understand what has been taking place. And with that said, I want to continue with chapter 20. I have made it to chapter 20, and I do hope to finish this complete book, and I should. So, today is Monday, September 21st, 2020, and I always forget the date. Terribly sorry about that. But normally when I finish a reading, I upload it that day, so the date should be there. But today is Monday, September 21st, and I will be continuing in beginning chapter 20. Okay, and here we go. Murder by Numbers, the Gematria Killing Code. Okay. There are 2 songs I would like you to look up the lyrics to that will help supplement your understanding of the contents of this chapter. The first is Murder by Numbers, released in 1983 from the album Synchronicity by the Police, where the chorus goes, "It's murder by numbers, 1, 2, 3. It's as easy to learn as your ABCs. As we have covered, the word murder has reverse ordinal gematria of 83, making the year 83 the perfect year to release such a song. As we have also learned, and will expand on further, it is the police worldwide, not the band, who are connected to suspicious deaths and who are writing the reports of these ritualistic murders, covering up the truth and concluding these reports with concluding these reports with statements such as no foul play suspected, when in fact foul play is the only thing to be suspected. By slighting the truth, they are abusing their authority as police for the Freemasonic networks they serve that kill by this code. Okay. The second track to investigate is called Gematria, the killing name by the metal band Slipknot, which was released on the album All Hope Is Gone, August 20th, 2008. Let us examine what is fitting about the release date of the album in light of the track name. Okay, so the date was August 20th, 2008. You would add 8 plus 20 plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8. That equates to 38. Gematria equates to 38 in reduction. Killing equates to 38 in reduction. Murder equates to 38 reverse reduction. And for the date 8/20, you add 8 plus 20, which gives you 28. Kill equates to 28 as well in reverse reduction cipher. And here we go. I'm going to read this headline. Charles Manson, leader of murderous 60s cult, dead at 83. Okay? If you want to take it a step further, All Hope Is Gone has reverse ordinal gematria of 213, the number representing death in satanic gematria, and a number we will cover ahead regarding the passing of Tupac Shakur, Princess Diana, and many more. For another possible riddle with the same album, Consider it came out just before the selection of Obama in 2008, who ran on hope and who became the first black president in the history of the nation, where Black History Month is represented by the number 213. As I was telling people in 2008, 5 years before I knew Gematria, the Obama character was created to kill hope and any remaining faith people might have in the U.S. political system. Of course, the words Gematria and killing also share ordinal values of 74, which correspond with the reduction value of synchronicity, the name of the Police album. Even more, synchronicity has a reverse reduction value of 79 when H is counted for 10, matching the ordinal value of murder, reminding of O.J. Simpson, the made-for-TV killer, with a July 9th or 7/9 birthday. Speaking of made-for-TV killers, Charles Manson would die 1 week after turning 83 years old, November 19, 2017, at reportedly 8:13 p.m. local time, 8:13 p.m. local time, which can also be represented as 2013 in military time, not too far off from 213. Consider his cult of satanic killers did their killing in Los Angeles, home of the 213 area code. Related, they said Jeffrey Dahmer, the deranged serial killer who did his murdering in Wisconsin, lived in apartment number 213 on 25th Street. They also said that that Jack the Ripper did the last of his killing on February 13th or 2/13, the 44th day of the year. With facts such as these, it becomes no coincidence the film 213 about a serial killer, released on April 25th, 2009, a date with numerology of 38. For 2509, you would add 4 plus 25 plus 09, that equates to 38. And with April 25 being the 115th day of the year, as you'll learn, the word killing has gematria of 115 in reverse ordinal and Jewish. As for Charles Manson, a notorious name thanks to news media, he was born in 34, and murder equates to 34 in reduction gematria. Further, the date Manson died was one with numerology of 67, a number representing killer and satanic in ordinal, as well as blood sacrifice in reduction. These are numbers that come up time and time again in the ritual that is murder by numbers, as you will soon know and will be able to apply to the many celebrity deaths not covered in this chapter. So, for the date 11/19/2017, you would add 11 plus 19 plus 20 plus 17 equates to 67. Satanic equates to 67 in ordinal. Killer equates to 67 in ordinal. Blood sacrifice equates to 67 in reduction. As we'll cover later in the chapter, many celebrities died on the same day Charles Manson passed away, and not coincidentally. It was a reminder who the real killers are in our society and who they kill for. Satan, who they revere as God. By studying the contents of this chapter, sadly, you will be able to begin to predict which celebrities will soon be in the obituaries, because the patterns of death are very repetitive. Ahead, you will learn how I foretold the death of Prince months before it happened, and the death of Muhammad Ali at the age of 74 years in advance, among others. And I do remember him speaking about Prince, I was in Mississippi, but I definitely um, was listening to his information even there. I had lost Zach's channel for a while. I didn't realize he was being deleted so many times, but when I finally found him again, and I did catch the episode of him talking with Jeff Young about Prince, and man, that was mind blowing. The information, especially when what he was talking about actually took place, is just amazing. Anyway, moving on. And understand the ultimate goal of being aware of this knowledge is to help wake enough people up to this perverse operating system so the ongoing murder rituals by the synagogue of Satan can be brought to an end forever. Absolutely. And that's what needs to happen. People need to wake up and quit thinking this is a game. Quit thinking that this is something that's foolish. Quit thinking that just because it's strange to you, that does not mean it is not occurring. It just means you don't want to take the time to read this information to see what it is. And it is so simple, but freaking evil. This is just some horrible stuff. And I hope, man, just wake up. And here we go with the first death. Well, we did mention Charles Manson, but I think he is not, that wasn't in detail, but I'm sure he should be coming up a little later. But here we go. Deaths of Bruce and Brandon Lee, like father, like son. Let us now move excuse me. Let us now move into the deaths of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, I don't know why my tongue is going everywhere. Let us now move into the deaths of Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, father and son, because they are shining examples of how the ritual murders of celebrities are commonly done in a way that is meant to mock the many people who consider themselves fans of these same celebrities. Before we get to their deaths, let's examine the final film Bruce Lee was making when he passed, which released June 8, 1979, emphasis on 79, and it being a date with numerology of 93, corresponding with Saturn, which again is where the symbolism of the Grim Reaper is derived. When it released, it was incomplete and titled Game of Death. Knowing what we know about the number 79 and murder by numbers, which we began to understand in the chapter on the Kennedy curse, we can be certain it wasn't a coincidence they waited until 79 for the release of the film 6 years after the death of Bruce Lee in 73. If you have not seen this title, you must. In the 25th minute of the film, a number corresponding with the reverse reduction of Gematria of death, there is a scene where Bruce Lee is playing the part of a Hollywood actor named Billy Lowe. In the same scene, the extras are supposed to fire guns at him, with blanks of course, since it is the filming of a movie. Instead, one of the extras, which intend to kill Billy Lowe, loads a real bullet and fires, striking the actor played by Bruce Lee. That narrative should sound familiar to you because Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, would be killed March 31st, 1993, while filming the movie The Crow, when a gun accidentally loaded with a real bullet was fired at him. Now, notice how the Gematria of The Crow connects to death and the 25th minute of the Game of Death. Okay? So, The Crow equates to 38 in reduction. Death equates to 38 in ordinal. Murder equates to 38 reverse reduction. Killing equates to 38 in reduction. Okay, the crow equates to 97 in reverse ordinal. Death equates to 97 in reverse ordinal. 97 is the 25th prime number. In the film Game of Death, it shows the killer escape out the back door in the commotion of Bruce Lee's character being shot. Let's examine what is interesting about backdoor in light of Billy Lowe and the reverse reduction gematria of Hollywood, summing to 33. As we decode, consider the rapper Noriega stated that if you want to make it in show business, the only way to do so is to either take it up the rear end, back door, or have people killed who are in relation to you. Okay, so let me read that one more time. Okay, as we decode, consider the rapper Noriega stated that if you want to make it in show business, the only way to do so is to either take it up the rear end, back door, or have people killed who are in relation to you. The interview is a web search away. Okay, so the word backdoor equates to 33 in reduction. Billy Lowe equates to 33 in reduction, and Lowe is spelled L-O. Okay, Bruce Lee equates to 33 in the septenary cipher. Backdoor equates to 147 reverse ordinal. Freemason equates to 147 reverse ordinal, and conspiracy equates to 147 in reverse ordinal. In the same film, Game of Death, Bruce Lee's character survives the bullet, but decides to fake his death since he knows there are people trying to kill him. It then shows the newspaper headlines, "Billy Lowe is dead." As we will come to understand, in some celebrity deaths, people are really being murdered, and in other cases, hello Michael Jackson, they are faking their deaths to escape the limelight, which perhaps they have had enough of. In most cases, it is difficult to determine, but in the case of Michael Jackson, it is not, thanks to the Dave interview Jackson did in disguise on Larry King's television program after his reported death, which aired on CNN. We'll come back to Michael Jackson and Dave, but for now, more on Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee. Yeah, I want to read the part about Michael because that's a little, hey, I don't know. But still, this information is still phenomenal. So, I was just hiding in my room. Okay, moving right along. Okay, Bruce Lee would reportedly die of a cerebral edema, having reverse reduction gematria of 79, corresponding with murder, and the year of the release of Game of Death. His cause of death was a fancy way of saying brain swelling due to an adverse reaction to pain medication. His date of death was July 20th, 1973, at the end of the astrological sign of Cancer, having gematria of 44 in ordinal, just the same as the word kill. That was also a date with numerology of 119, connecting to Saturn in Francis Bacon gematria. As for dying in the year 73, the word sacrifice has ordinal gematria of 73, and so does the name Carolina. Even more, the number 73 is the 21st prime, also connecting to Saturn. As for Carolina, I bring up the location because that would be the place of death of his son later in life, a death that would have numerous parallels. Also worth mentioning, Bruce Lee was born Lee Jun Fan, and that is spelled Leejun hyphen Fan, Fan. Okay, so Bruce Lee was born as Lee June Fan, a name having gematria of 34 and 83. Two numbers corresponding with murder. Even more, his date of birth, November 27, 1940, the day leaving 34 days left in the year, yielded values of 25, 38, and 97, all numbers connecting to death. As for his last film, as mentioned, it was released June 8th, 1979, and June 8 can be expressed as 8-6, similar to 86, connecting to the gematria of blood sacrifice, and reminding of the slang 86th, meaning to get rid of, okay? Moving on to Brandon Lee's death, he would pass on March 31st, 1993, again while filming The Crow. That film would release May 11, 1994, 58 weeks after his death, similar to how he died 58 days after his 28th birthday, February 1st. As you know, Saturn has gematria of 93 and 511, with the latter number being similar to May 11th or 5/11. A date that can be expressed as 11/5, connecting to the gematria of Masonic, Freemasons, and killing. In the case of Saturn, I should also mention that planet has gematria of 58. For a reminder, Saturn is connected to death and judgment. As for the date Brandon Lee died, March 31st or 3/31, it is similar to 331, and his father was born on the 331st day of the year, November 27th. Even more, the number 331 is the 67th prime number connecting to where Brandon Lee would die, North Carolina. In reduction gematria, North Carolina, as well as Brandon Bruce Lee and blood sacrifice, all equate to 67. Consider further, March 31st is a date with numerology of 34, and November 27th leaves 34 days left in the year, where murder equates to 34 in reduction gematria. It was stated that Brandon's death was an accident, a word having gematria of 59, similar to kill and killer. It was 58 days after his birthday that the accident happened, or his 59th day of being 28 years old. Knowing what we know, who could ever believe this event has anything knowing what we know, who could ever believe this event was anything but intentional? To quote Mr. T, I pity the fool. I pity the fool, absolutely. Oh my God, this is some crazy stuff. For one last parallel, both men would be buried on the 47th parallel north in Seattle, Washington, by the numbers of Saturn, where time has ordinal gematria of 47 and Saturn is its keeper. In the case of Bruce, he also died on a date with a life lesson number of 47. July 20th, 1973, you would add 7 plus 20 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 3. It equates to 47. Bruce Lee would be buried 11 days later on July 31st, 1973, a date that can be expressed as 31/7, similar to 317. In the primes cipher, Saturn equates to 317. As for Brandon Lee, he would be buried on April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year, in the year 93. Both men are buried at the Lakeview Cemetery. Lakeview Cemetery equates to 74 in reduction. Wow. Moving right along. The deaths of John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe. For some historical perspective, let's revisit the deaths of U.S. Presidents John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe, who were the second, third, and fifth presidents respectively. Those numbers should remind you of the degrees of each leg on the compasses in the Freemason logo, as well as the degrees of the tropics, which are at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south. Of course, when you calculate the total distance between the legs of the compasses and the tropics, you arrive at 47 degrees, corresponding with the gematria of president, government, authority, and more. Okay? In the case of these three men, they all died on July 4th or 4/7. Both Adams and Jefferson died July 14th, 1826, and Monroe died July 4th, 1831, exactly 1,826 days later. So 1,826 days later. This is just freaking crazy. 8 plus 26 equates to 44, and kill equates to 44 in ordinal. Killing equates to 74 in ordinal. Masonic equates to 74 in ordinal. Holiday equates to 74 in ordinal. Independence Day equates to 74 in reduction. Killing equates to 47 reduction. K counted as 11. Killing equates to 211 in the primes number. The prime cipher, and 211 is the 47th prime number. Okay? George Washington, February 22nd, 1732, December 14th, 1799. Okay. The first president also went out by the code on the date of December 14, 1799, being killed 42 weeks and 1 day after his 67th birthday, February 22nd, 1799, on a date with numerology of 4142, no less. As you'll recall, the word 42 written as a word, yes, the word 42 has gematria of 142, and George Washington was the 42nd state. And George Washington has the 42nd state named in his honor, as well as DC, which has Sumerian gematria of 42, the number corresponding with Freemason, and the G in the middle of the Freemason logo. As you'll also recall, in addition to blood sacrifice and killer having gematria of 67, so does Freemasonry and alchemy. In relation to alchemy is the concept of reincarnation, and sometimes I wonder if these people are willing participants in their deaths, believing they will come back renewed. Also noteworthy, his date of death had numerology of 34, connecting to murder, as well as 1, where he is recognized as the first U.S. president, even though it isn't so. There were 8 before him, the first being John Hanson. For one last point about the number 34, the number 139, representing the ordinal gematria of Freemasonry, is the 34th prime. In Washington's honor is the 333-foot tall George Washington Masonic National Memorial, located at 101 Callahan Drive in Alexandria, Virginia, a fitting address for a monument made in tribute to the first Mason POTUS, President of the United States. For the record, the name of the monument has ordinal gematria of 433, which is the 84th prime, the number special to the United States of America and Revolutionary War, as well as Masonry. All right. Robert Burns, 25th of January 1759 to July, the 21st of July 1796. Robert Burns, the poet of Scotland and one of the most beloved Freemasons in all of history, who spread the popularity of English with his talents, would oh, excuse me. I'm going to start that over, and just bear with me here. Okay, Robert Burns, 25th of January 1759, and until the 21st of July 1796. Sorry about that. Robert Burns, the poet of Scotland and one of the most beloved Freemasons in all of history, who spread the popularity of English with his talents, would die prematurely on the day, leaving 163 days left in the year, which is the 38th prime number. Notice he died in the year 1796. He died in the year 96, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of Freemason. Further, the name Robert has reduction gematria of 33, and the name Burns has ordinal gematria of 74, meaning his name couldn't have been any more Masonic or ripe for a killing sacrifice. He would die 188 days before his 38th birthday, connecting to Bavarian Illuminati, or a span of 189. In the case of 189, the words Freemasonic, reincarnate, and resurrection all share gematria of 189. His cause of death was said to be endocarditis. 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 Having gematria of 58, same as Freemasonry and Scottish. Poet of Scotland equates to 213, reverse ordinal. Burns also died on his 179th day of being 37 years old, where the number 179 is the 41st prime and the number 41 is the 13th prime. Very special number to Masonry, and M is the 13th letter. Okay. Adam Weishaupt. Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt. February 6, 1748 to November 18, 1830. Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Bavarian Illuminati, would die on the 322nd day of the year, November 18th, 1830. 80 days before his 63rd birthday, meaning he died at age 62, right for the death of a Mason. Him dying 80 days before his birthday is fascinating because Bavarian Illuminati has reduction gematria of 80. Also interesting is that the name Adam Weishaupt has gematria of 51, and his full name, Johann, Johann, Johann Adam Weishaupt, has gematria of 121, where he established the powerful secretive order on May 1st, 1776, which can be expressed as 5/1, the 121st day of the year in non-leap years. Further, the date of his death also connected to his name, as well as Freemasonry and killing. So the date 11/18/1830, you would add 11. 8 plus 18 plus 18 plus 30, that equates to 77. Johann Adam Weishaupt equates to 77 in reduction. Secret society equates to 77 reverse reduction. 11, 18, 30. You would add 11 plus 18 plus 30 equates to 59. Freemasonry equates to 59. In Hebrew and in English. Kill equates to 59 in the Jewish cipher. Okay? Consider further. November 18th is the day leaving 43 days left in the year, connecting to the Gematria of Masonic, killing, and RIP. Considering the Bavarian Illuminati was established with 13 families on a date with numerology of 99, just before the establishment of the United States with 13 colonies, a nation having reverse reduction gematria of 77. It is interesting to note that he died while the country was 54 years old, and Freemasonic as well as Jesuit order have gematria of 54. Okay, the devil. Albert Pike. He didn't write that. He's a devil. Anywho, Albert Pike, December 29th, 1809 to April 2nd, 1891. April 2nd, 1891. Speaking of the number 13, let us examine the April 2nd, 1891 death of Albert Pike, who is immortalized in the statue of him holding morals and dogma in Washington, D.C., which is located 13 blocks from the White House. That statue was recently destroyed during the George Floyd riots, I believe. I know it was destroyed, but I also believe President Donald Trump has ordered it be replaced. Go figure. But anyway, as you'll notice, he died in 91, okay? 1891. He died in 91, the 13th triangular number. Also worth mentioning is that 13 weeks is 91 days. In the case of Albert Pike's name, it has 3 tributes to the number 13. As we decode, notice the numerology of his December 29th birthday, which can be expressed as 12 plus 29, which equates to 41. So, the name Pike equates to 41 in ordinal. Albert equates to 41 reverse reduction. 41 is the 13th prime. Albert Pike equates to 99 in ordinal, and 13 written as a word equates to 99 in ordinal. The name Albert also has ordinal gematria of 58, corresponding with Freemasonry. Thus, it was only fitting for him to die on April 2nd, or 4/2, not unlike 42. The date of his passing was also a date with numerology of 97, corresponding with the gematria of death. He was 81 years old when he met his maker, the number corresponding with ritual in ordinal and reverse ordinal gematria. He is now buried under the House of Temple, the Masonic headquarters in Washington, D.C., the land of 42, which is located at the address 1733 16th Street. Please use what you have learned to decipher what is special about the address to Masonry. And let us not forget that this same building with 33 pillars, each standing 33 feet tall, reminding that this gang likes their numbers. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Cesare Borgia, Duke of Valentinos. September 13, 1475 until March 12, 1507. Okay? Some historians believe this is where the face of white Jesus came from. And I will show you that picture really quickly here. Cesare Borgia. Okay. So, some historians believe this is where the face of white Jesus came from, a likeness that does not match the biblical description where Jesus was detailed as a man having hair of wool. Wow. The man pictured, Cesare Borgia, was the son of Pope Alexander the Fourth, and an inspiration to Machiavelli's The Prince due to his fight for political power before being killed prematurely at age 31 in what was explained as a murder by a random mob of people who did not know his identity and did not plan his death. Prior to Borgia's passing, he was a nobleman, a politician, and a cardinal in the Catholic Church. What is fascinating about his date of death and his name, in light of what some historians contend are the numbers revealed from each and how they compare with the Catholic Church as well as Jesus. As we consider it is the Catholic Church that are largely responsible for the Bible as we know it, and who have helped spread Christianity across the world along with the image of white Jesus. We'll begin with the fact that Cesare Borgia died on March 12th, which is the 71st day of the year of the modern Gregorian calendar. This matters because the word Catholic has ordinal gematria of 71, and the word Pope has Sumerian gematria of 312, not unlike 3/12. Keep in mind the Gregorian calendar is named after Pope Gregory the 13th, and the Catholic Church is well aware of the code of letters, numbers, and dates. Absolutely. Catholic equates to 71 in ordinal. Pope equates to 312 in Sumerian. Don't overlook what we learned earlier about God summing to 71 in English extended, and Zeus totaling to 71 in ordinal, in light of this man possibly being the face of the Son of God, Jesus Christ, to much of the world. Further, Cesare Borgia died on his 181st day of his age, which is the 42nd prime number, a very specific number to the New Testament. As we have covered, that begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. As for the number 181 itself, notice how it connects to Jesus Christ and Christianity in the Kabbalah related ciphers. And keep in mind, the Catholic Church has had and largely hidden the knowledge of Kabbalah from the time of the Crusades. So, Jesus Christ equates to 181 KFW Kabbalah. Christianity equates to 181 ALW Kabbalah. Christianity equates to 181 in the Francis Bacon cipher as well. In light of his birthday being September 13th, and him being an inspiration of Machiavelli's The Prince, I want to prep your mind for something that is related and ahead, which is the death of Tupac Shakur on September 13, 1996. In the wake of his death, the album would be released with his rap alias Machiavelli, which is a play on Machiavelli. On that album cover, Tupac, summing to 74, same as Machiavelli, Makaveli, summing to 74, is shown on the cross. Tupac summoned to 74, same as Machiavelli, summoned to 74. Tupac is shown on the cross, summing to 74. Cross equates to 74, like Jesus summing to 74. And to bring this back to Cesare Borgia, his name equates to 373 in English extended gematria, which is the 74th prime number. As you let the parallel sink in, consider Tupac was actually a man with hair of wool. Absolutely. Moving on, using the base ciphers. Cesare Borgia also sums to 58 in reduction, 77 in reverse reduction, 103 in ordinal, and 221 in reverse ordinal. As you know, the number 58 connects to biblical, tetragrammaton, and much more. As for 77, it connects to Christ and the 77 generations to Jesus Christ in Luke. As for the 103, it is the 27th prime number, connecting to the number of books in the New Testament and the name Jesus in septenary. And last, both 221 and 139 connect to the Gematria of the Bavarian Illuminati using the base ciphers, which were not yet established in history, but no doubt the numerical pairing is still significant, especially considering Borgia's birthday was September 13th. Ahead, we'll talk about how those numbers relate to the deaths of soprano stars Frank Vincent and James Gandolfini, the latter of which died in Italy, and in direct connection to Pope Francis, and not coincidentally. The name Cesare Borgia is also interesting in septenary, summing to 47, corresponding with the Gematria of Christian and Vatican. Keep in mind, Vatican City was established February 11th, 1929, or 211, not unlike 211, the 47th prime. So the date February 11th can be expressed as 2/11, not unlike 211, the 47th prime number. Okay, 211. 47th prime. At the same time, his name equates to 35 in Chaldean, the number corresponding with the reduction gematria of Catholic as well as Elohim. Equally as fascinating, the name sums to 333 in Jewish gematria, which is the year that St. Peter's Basilica was established, the oldest structure at the site of the Vatican, and a number sharing a relationship with 47, as we have learned. Now, let us close with the gematria of his alias, the Duke of Valentinos. Valentinois. So I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, and I'm sorry for that. But the Duke of Valentinos is what I'm going to say. Is summing to 1309 in English Extended, not unlike his birthday, September 13th, or it can be expressed as 13/9. As you have learned, the number 139 is pertinent to Freemasonry, which operates within the Catholic Church. America, which was a nation established by Freemasonry and the Catholic Church, and Jerusalem, where this code was once acquired by the Knights Templar before being returned to the Vatican. So, the Duke of Valentinos, and again I'm going to spell that Valentinois, like Illinois, so it might be Valentinoi, I don't know. But anyway, Duke of Valentinos equates to 1309 in the English Extended Cipher. Putting the pieces of the puzzle together, it is fair to conclude that he was killed by the Masonic network of his time, operating within the church as ritual, and likely for the sake of what he would be remembered for, the face of Jesus. As we have come to understand, he had the name to match. And for one last point, he died at the age of 31, which is the 11th prime number, where Jesus has reduction gematria of 11, the master number. Whew. Ooh, these people, and here's another devil. Saint Ignatius of Loyola, October 23rd, 1491 until July 31st, 1556. Ignatius of Loyola, the man who established the Society of Jesus, known as the Jesuit order, would die 84 days before his 65th birthday. This couldn't have been any more perfect because the Jesuit order, and the Catholic Church all share a gematria of 84, same with Masonry. Consider further, it was the Knights Templar, summing to 65, just like Christianity, that gave the Kabbalah code to the Catholic Church once upon a time. That also means he died at age 64, corresponding with Synagogue of Satan. You could also say he died 2 months and 23 days before his birthday, similar to 223, tying in with the Synagogue of Satan and Masonic. His title, Saint Ignatius of Loyola, has gematria of 93 and 303, corresponding with Saturn. The way his name is commonly written, Saint Ignatius of Loyola, also has gematria of 78, corresponding with Jesuit order. As for Ignatius of Loyola, it totals 75, syncing with Catholic Church. The latter title also has gematria of 231, the 21st triangular number. Recall, Bible has gematria of 21 as well as Saturn. Also, the Catholic Bible is 73 books, which is the 21st prime number. Wow. Pope Benedict XIII, Petro Francesco Orsini. February 2nd, 1649 until February 21st, 1730. Okay. This man was the third member of the Orsini family to become a pope in the Catholic Church. The first being Celestine III, 1191 to 1198, and the second being Nicholas III, 1277 to 1280. If you are not aware of the Orsinis, they are a powerful family of Italian nobility dating back to the 12th century that have had much influence in the church and Italian politics since their coming into power. Some contend they are the head of the Illuminati. In the case of Pope Benedict the 13th, born Francesco Orsini, and I'm going to spell his name Pietro So Petro Francesco Orsini. Okay, he held his title as the head of the Catholic Church and the Papal States from May 29, 1724 until his death February 21st, 1730. His date of passing couldn't have been more perfect, given that it was the 52nd day of the year, and Pope has ordinal gematria of 52. Same as devil. And all these suckers are devils. Further, it was a date with numerology of 53, 2, 21, 30. When you add it together, that equates to 53. Connecting to the reduction gematria of religion and the septenary gematria of Christianity, both equating to 53. Going further with the religion parallel, which sums to 127 in reverse ordinal, his birth name, Pietro Francesco Orsini, equates to 127 in reverse reduction. At the same time, his birth name in reverse ordinal equates to 316, similar to how Jesus Christ sums to 3:16 in Hebrew Gematria, corresponding with John 3:16. Connecting his date of passing to his name in Frank Baconis, Benedict the 13th equates to 221, and that's just Benedict X1 I Benedict 13 equates to 221, not unlike the date February 21 or 2/21. As we decode, recall that the Bavarian Illuminati equates to 221 in ordinal, and how the number factored into the name of Cesare Borgia, who also died on a fitting date in relation to the Catholic Church. So I'm going to show you the, as a matter of fact, let me highlight it so you can see it right away. Okay, so that is Benedict the 13th and the code for that. Oops, sorry. Okay. Also noteworthy is that his date of becoming Pope, May 29th, was the 149th day of the year, corresponding with the ALW Kabbalah Gematria of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ equates to 149 ALW Kabbalah, and I will show you that as well so that you can see it. And give me a second here. So the second one that I'm doing is for Jesus Christ, and it is highlighted, and you can see the decode. Okay. There we are. Okay. So that means he died 97 days or 3 months and 8 days before the 6-year anniversary of becoming Pope. As you have learned, death sums to 97 in reverse ordinal and 38 in ordinal. Further, number 97 is the 25th prime, and Pope sums to 25 in reduction gematria, whereas death sums to 25 in reverse reduction. Thus, in total, it is clear to see he did not pass through this world naturally, but by ritual at age 81, where the word ritual equates to 81 in ordinal and reverse ordinal gematria. Ahead, we will cover the death of the 33-day Pope who went to sleep on the Jesuit order's birthday and never woke up again. And keep in mind, these are just 2 of many popes to exit this world by what we know as the code. You can examine many others by applying the knowledge. Okay. Alphonsus, Alphonsus, Liguori, Liguori, or Liguori, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but Alphonsus Liguori, September 27, 1696 to August 1st, 1787. Okay? This man was born on the Jesuit order's 156th birthday, being established September 27, 1540. He would create a related Catholic and Masonic order known as the Congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer, November 9, 1732. Fittingly, their logo features the all-seeing eye, having ordinal gematria of 119. He would die at 90 years of age, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of Holy Bible. As for his date of passing, August 1st, it can be expressed as 81, similar to 81, the ritual number. Tying in perfectly was his name gematria, summing to 81 and 90 in the reduction formats. If you add the title Saint, St, to the front, Thus, Saint Alphonsus Liguori, the Gematria becomes 84, not unlike Jesuit, and also 231, again the 21st triangular number. For one last point, he died a span of 58 days from his 91st birthday. Biblical. So let me see. Biblical, I'm sure, equates to 58. I just want to tell you in which cipher that it equates to 58 in, okay? So, alrighty. Biblical, B-I-B-L-I. Yes, biblical equates to 58 in the reverse reduction cipher. Alrighty. Alphonsus Liguori equates to 81 in reduction. Alphonsus Liguori equates to 90 in reverse reduction. And I will show you the decodes, and it's right there at the bottom. Alrighty. Okay, I need to take this jacket off. And a little warm in here. Okay, so moving right along here. William Morgan, 1774, September 11th, 1826. William Morgan was a civic leader on the verge of publishing a book revealing Freemasonry's secrets until he disappeared on the date September 11th, 1826. Notice that was a date with numerology of 46 as well as 64, plus it was September 11th. 9, 11, 26, you would add 9 plus 11 plus 26 equals 46. Sacrifice equates to 46 in reduction. 9, 11, 18, 26. 9 plus 11 plus 18 plus 26 equates to 64. Kill equates to 64, reversed ordinal. His death was blamed on Freemasonry, and it furthered William Morgan's agenda of establishing an anti-Masonry party, a goal of his at the time of his passing. What is odd is how his name, William Morgan, corresponds with the reverse ordinal gematria of Freemasonry and conspiracy, both summing to 147. So, William Morgan equates to 147 in the ordinal cipher. Okay. Joseph Smith, another devil. December 23rd, 1805. June 27th, 1844. Okay. Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon faith, would be murdered in a Carthage, Illinois jail after an armed mob raided the jail for the purpose of killing him. Fittingly, he was 38 years old at the time of his death. As you have learned, murder, death, killing, RIP, possess gematria of 38. Making matters even more interesting, he died 187 days after his birthday, on the day leaving 187 days left in the year. As you learn, this number has much to do with homicide, as well as the source of the gematria code, the Torah, which is 187 chapters long. Further, he died in the year 44. This was fitting because he was seen as a prophet, having reduction gematria of 44, the same as spiritual. And for a reminder, the words faith, hope, and karma all share ordinal values of 44 as well, which are related concepts. At the same time, kill, execution, and shooting each equate to 44, which were the words pertaining to Joseph Smith's passing. As for Mr. Smith becoming a prophet, if you want to find out why he is reported to have talked to the angel Moroni on the date September 21st, 1823, the day leaving 101 days left in the year, you need only use what they have learned in the pages read thus far. Absolutely. Recall that from the first chapter, 101 is the 26th prime, and the name Joseph has reverse reduction gematria of 26, the number symbolizing God. If you apply the code to the reported events from the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith's testimony, many things will become clear, including the fact that the name Moroni shares gematria of 39 with the word angel, and the location of where this event supposedly took place, New York. You lying bastards. For anyone who applies the time, they'll see the events underlying the Mormon faith are contrived with the same knowledge that is applied to other spiritual texts, including the Bible. That knowledge, of course, is letters, numbers, and dates. Absolutely. Edgar Allan Poe, January 19th, 1809 to October 7th, 1849. Okay. The death of Edgar Allan Poe at age 40 is said to be a great mystery because he became ill, was delirious, and passed away very rapidly. But by knowing the code, however, we can see exactly what happened. Consider he passed in Baltimore, Maryland, a Catholic stronghold and a Jesuit stronghold as well, the latter being a society known for killing by the code. His date of death, October 7th, tells the story, especially in light of his passing at 40 and the numerology of the date. So the date 10/7/1849, you add 10 plus 7 plus 18 plus 49, that equates to 84. The word 40, F-O-R-T-Y, equates to 84 in ordinal, and Jesuit equates to 84 in ordinal. The date 10/7, 10 plus 7, of course, is 17 when added together. Kill equates to 17 in reduction. Mason equates to 17 in reduction. God equates to 17 in reduction. 10/7 is much like 107, the 28th prime number. Kill also equates to 28 reverse reduction. Further, October 7th can be expressed as 10/7, not unlike 107. In reverse reduction, ritual sacrifice equates to 107. And that's in the reverse reduction cipher. Finally, he died a span of 15 weeks from his 41st birthday, where 15, written as a word, has gematria of 38, connecting to death, murder, killing, and RIP. If you pay attention, you will see how often 15 and 38 are paired together in this code, from ritual killing to scripted sports, which often go hand in hand. In the most recent Super Bowl 52, the winning Eagles advanced in their playoff matches first with 15 points, then with 38 points, before winning Super Bowl 52 in Minnesota, having reduction gematria of 38, and in U.S. Bank Stadium, also summing to 38 in reduction. Later in this chapter, you'll learn how Prince, summing to 38 in reduction, was paid tribute to in Super Bowl 52, 93 weeks and 3 days after his passing in the Super Bowl on the 93rd meridian in Minneapolis, Minnesota, summing to 93 in reduction, which was won by the Philadelphia Eagles, summing to 93 in reverse reduction. As you'll also learn ahead, there were many ritual sacrifices for Super Bowl 52, and there are many ritual sacrifices every year for sports championships, from the NFL to NBA to the MLB and more. Keep in mind, ritual sacrifice, sport, and Saturn worship are all old world practices, and so is this knowledge you're learning. And to bring this back to Edgar Allan Poe, consider the current NFL team in Maryland is named in his honor, the Baltimore Ravens. Strangely enough, Edgar Allan Poe died on the day, leaving 85 days left in the year, and National Football League has a reduction gematria of 85, as we'll get to next chapter. It is no coincidence the Eagles won their first Super Bowl in their 85th NFL season. Wow. Brigham Young, June 1st, 1801 to August 29th, 1877. A little more than 33 years after the passing of Joseph Smith, Brigham Young, who helped establish the Mormon faith in the state of Utah, would drop dead unexpectedly. He was 76 years old at the time. What is fascinating about his death is that he died 89 days after his birthday, on the 241st day of the year. The reason this matters is because the word religion has ordinal gematria of 89 and reduction gematria of 53, where 241 is the 53rd prime. For another 53, the surname Young, Y-O-U-N-G, equates to 53 in reverse ordinal. Okay? For more on 89, consider the name Joseph has reversed ordinal gematria of 89, and the Gospel of the Holy Bible is 89 chapters long. That is where the story of Jesus Christ is told, and Christ has ordinal value of 77, like the year of Brigham Young's passing. And for one last point, it is no secret that the Mormon Church is highly associated with Freemasonry. As you have learned, the number 58 is highly relevant to this organization, and not by chance. The name Brigham Young has reverse reduction gematria of 58, whereas the name Brigham has an ordinal value just the same. So Brigham Young equates to 58 reverse reduction, and Brigham, B-R-I-G-H-A-M, equates to 58 in ordinal. Okay, Jack the Ripper murder mystery. April 13th, 1888 until February 13th, 1891. Jack the Ripper began his killing in the Whitechapel area of London on the 93rd day of non-leap years in 1888, what has since become Dylan Stormroof's birthday. While I won't pretend to know the identity of who this people were, it is easy to see what gang they belong to. The same one that has been killing all throughout history by the same repetitive numbers, oftentimes in tribute to Saturn. As we decode, remember that 211 is the 47th prime. Also, don't forget that 187 is a number connected to the ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry, as well as the Society of Jesus, and is often used for a homicide code. In this case, it also connects to the location, the targets of the murders. Equally as important, London, killing, stabbing, and Masonic all share gematria of 74. Jack was a stabber. Okay, so Jack the Ripper equates to 211, reverse ordinal, 47 prime. Killing equates to 211 in the primes cipher. Mason equates to 211 Jewish gematria. Jack the Ripper equates to 47 in the Chaldean cipher. Whitechapel equates to 47 septenary cipher. Whitechapel also equates to 187 reverse ordinal. Prostitute equates to 187 ALW Kabbalah. Okay? London equates to 88 reverse ordinal. Policeman equates to 88 in ordinal, who the reports came from. And murdered equates to 88 in ordinal. Finally, notice the day the killings concluded, February 13th, the 44th day of the year, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of kill. Even more, February 13th is the first day of Lupercalia, an ancient Roman festival for remembering the dead. And as a reminder, the word Lupercalia has reduction gematria of 44. The date of the last kill can be expressed as 2/13, a familiar number to the history of serial killers, corresponding with the gematria of death. And at the same time, it can be expressed as 13/2, similar to 132, corresponding with the reverse ordinal gematria of England, as well as Catholic Church in ordinal, an entity that has much influence over the nation. As for it concluding in the year 91, that corresponds with the reduction gematria of Whitechapel murders as they are remembered. Okay. I should also add that the killings did begin in a leap year, 1888, making April 3rd the 94th day of the year. Recall, if you write out 94 as a word, it sums to 147, similar to the words Freemason, conspiracy, police, killing, stabbing, London, and more. Okay. Abdul Baha, May 23rd, 1844, November 28th, 1921. Okay. Abdul Baha was the son of the founder of the Baha'i faith, established in 1863, and in case I'm butchering the word, the faith is spelled Bahai, Baha'i faith. Okay. It was established 1863. If you are not familiar with the faith, it originates from Iran and has the message of acceptance of all belief systems, a noble belief indeed. On the subject of faith, Abdul was born in a fitting year, 44, because faith has gematria of 44, same as the words spiritual and prophet, where in the case of his father, known as the Bab, Thebab, he was known as the Bab, he claimed to be a prophet of God. What's interesting about the passing of Abdul Baha is he died on the day leaving 33 days left in the year at the age of 77. Again, Christ has gematria of 77, who many believe was crucified on the cross at the age 33. Now, each year in Baha'i faith, November 28th is known as the Ascension of Abdul Baha. Interestingly, the word Baha'i, Bahai, sums to 33 in reverse reduction, and Ascension sums to 33 in the Chaldean cipher. An important point is that when Mr. Baha passed, his death was kept secret for a period of time before the announcement. Consider he died in Israel of unknown causes. In light of his death, in that land, recall that Zionists, Judaism, and power all share gematria of 77, the numbers of the same gang that crucified Christ. Even more, the Baha'i faith is now headquartered in Israel. It serves as a reminder that the false ones are invested in controlling the spiritualities of the world. At the same time, the most sacred Baha'i house of worship is located in Illinois, just outside of Chicago, a Zionist Mecca. As for the United States, Abdul-Baha is remembered for spending 239 days in America, beginning April 11, 1912, and ending December 5th of the same year. What's fascinating about this, the name Abdul-Baha sums to 239 in Jewish gematria and 52 in ordinal gematria, where 239 is the 52nd prime number. Recall, Torah and the Book of the Law also share gematria of 239, which is the source of the Kabbalah code, also having gematria of 239. It was considered a spiritual journey, and it couldn't have ended on a more perfect date, 12/5, not unlike 125, because the word spiritual has gematria of 125, and there are said to be 125 degrees of spirituality in Kabbalah. Also fascinating was the start date of April 11, which can be expressed as 11/4, because a large portion of his message was for the people of the United States to avoid the wars that were brewing, which are now remembered as World War, having gematria of 114. As for the date he died, it was one with numerology of 79, corresponding with the word murder, as well as the synagogue of Satan. Again, his mysterious passing came in Israel, the land of the synagogue. More importantly, Baha'i faith, Bahaifaith, Baha'i faith equates to 79. He also died 189 days after his birthday, connecting to Freemasonic, resurrection, and reincarnate. Even more, he died in the year of 21, connecting to Baha'i as well as Bible and Saturn. Thus, it appears clear. His unclear cause of death was most certainly a ritual sacrifice by the same gang that has operated this way for centuries. Excuse me. Okay. Robert Johnson, May 8th, 1911 until August 16th, 1938. Robert Johnson is one of the original members of the 27 Club. He was said to be the most talented blues musician in the land when he passed, possessing rare talents for playing the guitar, singing, and dancing. His death was treated as a mystery, but knowing the code, it isn't hard to see what happened. August 16th is the 228th day of the year, corresponding with the Sumerian gematria of death. It is also the day leaving 137 days left in the year, the 33rd prime, being a number of sacrifice for young black men from Jesus Christ to Robert Johnson, where Robert has reduction gematria of 33. When he died, it was his 101st day of being 27 years old, and as we have learned, the word assassin has gematria of 101. You could also say it was 100 days after his 27th birthday, and the word African American has gematria of 100. and 100 equals to 74 in ordinal. Killing equal to 74 in ordinal. As a reminder, the word ritual has gematria of 27, and that is why in history so many musicians have died at this specific age or in connection to this specific number. Last, let us not overlook that he died in the year 38. 38. Later in history, Elvis Presley would die on this same day. Elvis was born a stone's throw away from where Robert Johnson passed in Mississippi. We'll get to it. And also, 101 is the 26th prime number, and God equates to 26. Man. Nat Jaffe, January 1st, 1918 until August 5th, 1945. Nat Jaffe, Natjaffe. Okay? Nat Jaffe, summing to 27 in reduction gematria, was another one of the early members of the 27 Club. On the day he passed, it was blamed on high blood pressure, something a 27-year-old has probably never died from in the history of the planet. Absolutely. As for him passing in the year 45, consider he was a swing jazz musician, and swing jazz sums to 45 in reduction, as well as reverse reduction. Even more, jazz alone has a reverse ordinal gematria of 45. At the same time, Nat Jaffe has reverse reduction gematria of 45, reminding that the word ritual sums to 27 in reduction and 45 in reverse reduction. On the day of his death, it was 216 days after his 27th birthday. The product of 6 times 6 times 6, relating to the number of the beast. In the Talmud, the archangel Samael, Samael, Samael is associated with death, and the name Samael has reverse Sumerian gematria of 666. Also worth mentioning is that he died on a date with numerology of 58, and on August 5th, which can be expressed as 58, similar to 58. Freemasons. Boy, I tell you. So, 8 plus 5. So the date was 8, 5, 45. So 8 plus 5 plus 45 equates to 58. Amazing. William Blythe, Bill Clinton's father, President Bill Clinton. His father's name was William Blythe. And he was born February 27, 1918, and died May 17, 1946. Bill Clinton's biological father, Bill Blythe, Blythe, would be found dead on the side of the interstate in 3 feet of water. He was traveling from Chicago, Illinois, back to his hometown of Hope, Arkansas. I can just see Barack Obama. Hope, Arkansas, when his body was discovered. The police ruled his death an accident. Fittingly, his date of passing had numerology of 59, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of accident. Even more, his passing came 79 days, the murder number, after his 28th birthday. It also came on the day leaving 228 days left in the year, the number corresponding with death in the Sumerian gematria. His full name, William Jefferson Blythe Jr., had a reverse reduction value of 137, and he died on the 137th day of the year. Consider his son would go on to become president, where government authority White House, and Washington, D.C. all share gematria of 137. Again, the number 137 is the 33rd prime, and Bill Clinton's mother would marry into the Clinton political dynasty family after the death of Mr. Blythe. Of course, Clinton sums to 33 in reduction gematria, same as federal, masonry, and order. As for his place of passing, Missouri, it has reverse ordinal gematria of 93, matching the year his son would take to the White House. Missouri has reduction gematria of 42 as well, and Bill Clinton we become the 42nd president of the United States, and he was also called what? The first black president? Oh my God, my God, my God. This stuff just, oh, it just makes me sick to my stomach now. Just knowing this code. Oh my gosh. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, spelled D-A-H-L-I-A. Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, July 29th, 1924 to January 15th, 1947. This is one of the great murder mysteries of the 20th century, but by knowing the code, it becomes clear as day the Masonic Mafia is responsible for this 47 killing, the year 47. Absolutely. Let us begin with the date of death, January 15th, which can be expressed as 1/15, similar to 115. As you know, the word killing has Jewish gematria and reverse ordinal gematria of 115, as well as reduction gematria of 47 when K is counted for 11. In the case of the woman murdered, the name Elizabeth has gematria of 47, as does the name Liz. Going with the date of death was the location her mutilated corpse was found. Lemert Park, L-E-I-M-E-R-T. Lemert Park, and that equates to 115 reverse reduction. P equates to 11, and E equates to 22. Oh my gosh. As we have learned, the number 47 symbolizes time, and the true keeper of time, the sun, is said to be 93 million miles away from the Earth. At the same time, Saturn, the keeper of time to the occult, has ordinal gematria of 93. In the case of the woman murdered, Elizabeth Short, her name also possessed gematria of 93 as follows. So, Elizabeth Short equated to 93 in reverse reduction, H counted as 10. As for the name she is remembered by, the Black Dahlia, it has gematria of 83, corresponding with murder, and gematria of 97 as well, corresponding with death. When she was killed, she was 22 years old, where the word murder has ordinal gematria of 79, and 79 is the 22nd prime number. For one last point, her date of death had numerology of 28, corresponding with the word kill. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Carter G. Woodson, December 19th, 1875 to April 13th, 1950. Carter G. Woodson is known as the father of Black history. For the first day of Black History Month in 2018, Google acknowledged this part of his legacy with a Google Doodle. Not by coincidence, the name Carter G. Woodson has a Chaldean gematria of 59, the same as Black History Month. And February, Black History Month, ends on the 59th day of the year. except in leap years. As for the date Woodson died, it was the 93rd day of the year. This matters because Black History Month has a reverse reduction gematria of 93. Consider names such as Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks all share gematria of 93 as well. In light of Woodson passing at age 74, consider what we learned earlier about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and how it relates to the numbers 74 and 93. Further, let us not forget that Jesus had hair of wool and skin of bronze, the characteristics of a man of African descent. Moving on, the date of Woodson's death came 105 days after his 74th birthday, and this matters because the name Woodson has an ordinal value of 105, the same as Zionism and Masonry. Also worth noting is that his full name, Carter Godwin Woodson, Carter Godwin Woodson, has a reverse reduction value of 100, same as African American, keeping it 100. Mother effers. Oh my goodness. Of course, Woodson is remembered for founding the study of African American life and history. Last, he died on a date with numerology of 76, corresponding with the reverse ordinal gematria of Negro, slave, and blues. So he died 4/3/1950. 4 plus 3 plus 19 plus 50 equates to 76. All right. Cecil B. DeMille, August 12th, 1881 to January 12th, 1959. Okay. And that is the same award that Oprah Winfrey won. Cecil B. DeMille, 1959. All right, let's go. Let's see what he's got to say here. Cecil B. DeMille, born Cecil Blount, B-L-O-U-N-T, Cecil Blount DeMille. Both titles having gematria of 77, would die at age 77, January 21st, 1959. Consider, blood sacrifice has an ordinal value of 121, similar to the date January 21 or 1/21 like 121. That was his 163rd day of being his age, which is the 38th prime number, connecting to death, murder, and killing. Consider, he was the winner of the first Cecil B. DeMille Award, February 21st, 1952, at the 9th Golden Globe Awards. Now think about it. The Golden Globes have GG initials, or 77. Okay. At the same time, the word theater has ordinal value of 77. Also worth mentioning is that in 2018, at the 75th Golden Globe Awards, Oprah, a name having reverse ordinal gematria of 77, same as Oprah Winfrey in reduction, received the award and immediately began receiving media attention about how she should run for president in 2020 because of her acceptance speech. Consider, DeMille died in 59, and the 2020 presidential election will be the 59th all time, a number having a lot to do with Black history as covered. Even more, DC is on the 77th meridian, known as the American meridian. It just goes to show how rigged and perversely sick the show is and has been. Boy, I tell you, wake up, people, wake up, wake up. February 3rd, 1959, the day the music died. All right. In an Iowa plane crash, the lives of Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson would all be claimed in an instant. Consider the day they died was the 34th day of the year, and a date with numerology of 83. Both numbers connecting to the gematria of murder. Even more, February 3rd, written as words, has gematria of 97, the same as plane crash, and a number corresponding with the word death. Out of the three men, Buddy Holly was the most well known, and his birthday was September 7th, 1936, or 9/7. So, February 3rd, written as words, equates to 97, reverse reduction, E equates to 22. Plane crash equates to 97 in ordinal, death equates to 97 reverse ordinal. Also relevant is that they died after leaving Mason City Municipal Airport and crashed near the town of Clear Lake, summing to 58, much like Freemasonry. As for the term, the day the music died, it has gematria of 84, Jesuits, 96, Masonic, Mason corresponding with Masonry and Freemason respectively. In other words, it isn't hard to see who was responsible. Ernie Davis, December 14, 1939 to May 18, 1963. Ernie Davis, the star college football player, would drop dead at age 23 from cancer on a date with numerology of 23 on his 529th day since winning the Heisman Trophy Award December 6, 1961. Not by chance, the number 529 has a square root of 23. And in case you're not aware, the Heisman is the highest honor that is awarded to one college football player each year. In light of the heavy connection to the number 23, recall football has an ordinal value of 83, and 83 is the 23rd prime number. Further, the word symbol has gematria of 23 and 86, which Ernie was. I bring up the number 86 because the date of his passing was also a date with numerology of 86, connecting to blood sacrifice. May 18, 1963, you would add 5 plus 18, or 518, you add that together, that's 23. And then 5/18/63, 5 plus 18 plus 63, that is 86, people. 86, this is a sick pattern. His passing in the year 63 is no coincidence either. He played his college football for the Syracuse Orange, having reduction gematria of 63. While there, he wore the fateful number 44, connected to kill and cancer, as well as African American, using the septenary cipher, taking after Jim Brown, who came before him. Speaking of which, Ernie Davis was the first African American to receive the Heisman Award, and the phrase African American has gematria has reduction gematria of 71, whereas the name Ernest Davis, and it's Ernest Davis, equates to 71 in reverse reduction. Consider the Civil Rights Act would occur on July 2nd, 1964, 411 days later. The number connecting to Freemason in Satanic Gematria, and a number having much to do with JFK's assassination, as we covered, who would die later in 1963, November 22nd, 223 days before the signing of the act. If you're not aware, Ernie Davis was shown in the papers shaking John F. Kennedy's hand after his Heisman Award, bringing much attention to the historic accomplishment. As for the word Heisman alone, it sums to 33 in reduction, same as Orange and Ernie, where Orange is the nickname of the college he played for. The city, Cleveland, also has reduction gematria of 33, and that is where he died, while a member of the Cleveland Browns. Adding insult to injury, his passing came on a date with numerology of 33. Okay? So 5/18/1963, you add 5 plus 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3, that equates to 33. As a member of the Browns, he wore the number 45, the number connecting to geometry. It is interesting to note that the day of his passing, May 18th, is the day leaving 227 days left in the year, the number that has a relationship with pi from geometry. As we have covered even more, May 18th can be expressed as 18/5, and mathematics has reverse ordinal gematria of 185. Of course, it is no coincidence that May 18th leaves 227 days left in the Gregorian calendar, which was built on the mathematics of the stars and to sync with the gematria of the English language. If you watch the film about Ernie Davis's life, it shows that he announced his illness to the world July 22nd, 1962, a date that can be expressed as 22/7, 227. That was also a span of 33 weeks from the NFL draft, December 4th, 1961, where he was selected number 1 overall by Cleveland. The name of the film revealing the date is The Express, summing to 49 in reduction, and fittingly, it was released on a date with numerology of 49, September 12th, 2008. 9 plus 12 plus 20 plus 08 equates to 49. If you watch the film, you'll notice the film begins in 1949, emphasis on 49, and Ernie Davis first wore number 49 at Syracuse before having the coach promote him to number 44 to be murdered in honor of Jim Brown, probably who he was sacrificed for, summing to 49 in reverse reduction, who recruited Ernie to attend at Syracuse. Making matters even more interesting, 227 is the 49th prime number, and ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry equates to, well, sums to 227 in reverse reduction. As a reminder, it is Freemasonry that invented American football. With that said, the Express and Freemasonry share ordinal gematria of 139 as well. Also noteworthy, the word express alone has a reverse ordinal gematria of 83, corresponding with the gematria of football and murder, reminding that Ernie, the express, passed at 23. Whew. Man, that will be the end of the first reading of chapter 20, Murder by Numbers, the Gematria Killing Code. And I hope you've enjoyed the reading. I hope it'll prompt you to go and get the book. Make sure you get this literature in your hands. Teach it to your children. Teach it to your friends. Share this information, because this is what is going on, and we need to know that, this needs to stop. It can be stopped. And with that said, I will be back soon with another reading, part 2 of chapter 20. And I don't know how many readings I have to do to get through this chapter, because I think there's over 100 pages in this chapter. But anyway, learn the information, and you can go back and decode anything. People in your own life that you wonder how they passed, friends, or things that has happened that you've always wondered about. If you know the dates and the people involved, you can uncover a lot of things just by knowing this code. But anyway, until next time, you guys have a good evening, and I will be back shortly.